Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly watch list where we go over all of our levels, what we're looking at to take on Monday morning, as well as the market conditions, bias, sentiment, and earnings and news for the week. Starting off with earnings, obviously we have nothing here, Lifecore Biomedical and RGP, nothing really significant. News-wise, it's going to be a short week again, as like Christmas, we have New Year's Day, half day Tuesday, closed Wednesday. Monday, we have 9:45 Chicago PMI, 10 a.m. We have pending home sales. Going into Tuesday, we have 9 a.m. S&P Composite, HPI, and then going into Thursday, we have at 8:30 a.m. unemployment claims, 9:45 a.m. not final manufacturing PMI, 10 a.m. construction spending, and 11 a.m. crude oil inventories. Friday at 10 a.m. we have ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing prices, and then 11:30 a.m. we have natural gas shortage, and 11 a.m. we have FOMC member Barkin speaks. Okay, starting off with our markets this week, as always, looking at downside preference here, structured basis, bias. We're really going to be looking to see here downside structure, 6,013, 6,015, 25. Looking at 6,000, the core psychological level there. And then looking at 5,987.50, 5,982.75, and then 5,980.50. Looking at just this continued downside sentiment bias that we kind of had structured based from last week in the start of the week, and now we're sort of forming a consolidative bear flag structure, kind of an ascending pennant, descending pennant. So we're just going to have to really kind of see, but downside's really looking preferential here with institutionals, traders, and institutions cleaning out their books and trying to get everything finalized for the new year, try to become, liquidity sweeps and what have you. Going into NQ, we have a mirror reflective kind of structure here of the futures structure, where this is a little more sideways for sure, with a consolidative pattern, but definitely downside incentive basis here as well. No different, 21,700, 21,670.75, 21,658.50. And then we have the next level support is going to be 21,613, 21,541.50, and 21,512.50. And then our final support pivot point of 21,498.75. So we're looking at downside incentive for sure heavy here this week, and that's where most of my setups are based around. My main watches this week are going to be Tesla, Nvidia, and Meta, and then my side watch is actually going to be Apple this week. So starting with Tesla, seeing that kind of descending pennant structure, consolidation formation here based off the kind of rally sell-off we got from Friday with Tesla, and the major amount of weakness that it had that we ended up catching scalp after scalp after scalp on, which was a beautiful Friday. First good Friday we've had in some time. I'm looking to take this around 425. Or having the level of 425, my actual target entry could be the current pre-market low that we did just structure up at literally an hour ago. It could be at 427.42. It is a bit far, and I'll probably be looking to look at Friday's low at 426.50 as my actual entry, if not a half entry, and then additional I'll add to that at 426, if not really close to 425. Just depends on how we basically approach this level here, right? Could reject, could reverse. Tesla, it's volatile as heck. It could already break through by the time morning comes, but this is what I'm looking at here. If this does break, I would be looking at the 420 level as well, with 421.81 being my potential initial entry of a half position, like going in half size light, just to get a starter going, and then go from there basically. Going into my next watch list, I'm looking at Nvidia, both upside and downside. Downside preferred with the market sentiment and bias here, but with the right divergence and what have you, I would like to switch my bias to upside. However, as of right now, bias is 100% going to be downside at 135 as my downside setup. I'm looking to take this around the 135 area, 135, 10, 20 cents, something like that, really close to the level, likely 18 cents, for instance, there at those local levels of support, reversal, rejection, whatever you want to call them, notable level. Through that, I'd be looking at 134.70, 134.57, and 134 as my targets. 134.70 with a 30 cents scalp through that. With 18 cents, that's about a 50 cent move. That would pay on a Monday even about 10%-ish. So it's a nice little clean scalp. Looking at through that, 50 cents more through 134 would probably pay about anywhere from 15 to 20 something percent. And that is how I'd be looking to trade this. I do like the divergence here. It is weak, but it's not weaker than anything else. So for me, the scalp would be more of the preferential move here. But coming off open, we could have a really structured up sentiment to see a crazy sell-off off open if it does have that kind of personal bias and divergence to the markets. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see, and the setup quality will alter or adjust based on the way it starts to move come off open Monday morning. Upside sentiment here is going to be 140. This is a bit of a consolidated overused range, so I do personally prefer 140.84 cents and 141 as my main setup, and 142 as the next setup past that at 141.82. However, 140 with the right positive divergence would be a considered setup, with this pivot high here at 139.66 being a potential entry, just depending on how we do end up approaching it. Okay, so those are my setups for NVIDIA here. Meta is going to be my final one here for the mains. I'm looking at this at upside and downside, just like NVIDIA. I do like this here at 605, but it is a bit of an overused range similar to NVIDIA. My notes on that. So 605 would have to come with some pretty notable positive divergence relative to the markets. And I'm personally not going to really be looking to take it more at 605, but more so the 610 level where it's a lot less used, a lot less abused. And it's really starting to show some serious upside preference and bias on the company, on the underlying itself. And I'm personally looking at downside as well at the 590 level through 589.80 as a target, and then a 589 as final target on this trade. I never look for too much. There's just these stocks move $2 to $3 typical, and that's going to be a good expectation to see out of any of these stocks. Now, this stock has been moving very poorly. Contracts have been expensive, meaning they've not been moving well for their valuations. Their delta variable has had very, very poor incremental variations, as well as the IV has been very low lately. And the contract volume has been insanely low at 100 to 300 sometimes for the first 30 minutes of the day, and sometimes it doesn't even go up. So this stock has not been moving this is like new meta, kind of end of year meta versus, main meta. This is like not, middle of year meta, summer meta we had where we just caught day after day was our main stock. So going to be trading that very smart, and if this does approach without divergence, I'm going to be looking to skip this. I won't even be looking at this with light side because it's just not going to, it's been giving so many reversals and rejections and lack of actual follow through on its setups that I'm not going to even be looking to take this with any size or any risk at any point because of that. So I need to see serious divergence with this company, and I won't be taking this on those days of crazy wicking like we've seen. Unless it's an open setup where that weakness or strength is there and I can't identify wicks yet because it's that right off open. Okay, but that's going to be a very important note I wanted to make for this given underlying here, this equity. Going to go into my final watch here. This is going to be my last watch. It's actually a side watch. It's going to be Apple here at 253, and I personally only like this as a scalp, and the justification behind the scalp here, this is going to be clean scalp at 252.80 cents to 252.68 in that range of a sell, if not 68 break, sell there, with an entry at probably 253.62-ish, 253.50 cents. We'll see if it doesn't approach right or I don't like it. It's only going to be an off the open with major volume, major weakness here as a really clean scalp, and nothing like a slow grind, because those slow grinds, Apple does not do what Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA does, where it does a breakout of a notable degree with a high probability of a notable degree of a breakout. It does a 10 cent breakout and then reverses, rejects, and that ties into my point of why I'm certainly looking at this as a scalp. On the weekly, this is in a crazy positive divergence stock versus any other tech sector company, NASDAQ company. I'm personally only looking at this as a scalp because of that. It's not got that crazy. It's got crazy divergence compared to any other positive wise, and I'm not going to be looking at this as a follow through hold setup because of that factor, that point. And I'm only going to be looking to scalp this for maybe 30 to 40, 50 cents at most, and if that, and this has got to be one of those crazy week off open, year open, first 10 minutes kind of setups, because I'm not looking for those slow grinds. They just never have follow through and continuation, and they just don't pay well either. The volatility drops very rapidly on the stock throughout the day, so this is not one of those stocks to mess around with at all. It's such a slow mover, and its breakouts are garbage. So this is something I'm looking at. If it doesn't happen in the first 10, I'm not even going to be risking, just like with Meta, kind of structured idea of if this doesn't have the right setup, exactly how I'm looking to take this, then I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to put any risk out. There's just no reason or justification behind that. No logical justification, if that, only emotional if you get caught up in them, which you should not be doing, obviously. That's going to be the conclusion to this week, guys. Again, thanks for watching as always. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Always open to suggestions. Any questions, hit me up on Instagram or the Stock Hours Discord. DM me. I'm open to always free DMs. I also offer one-on-one paid one-on-ones and also bootcamp sessions for a monthly basis if you're interested. Again, DM me on any one of those things at any time. And I'm always here to help guys, and try to turn us profitable, any of my students, and make everybody that, and correct everyone's psychology and do the best I can to help you guys become profitable just like I have. I hope you guys have a great week. Let's kill it. Let's end this year off right and smart. Going in half size. It's the final week of the year. Let's be wise about it, and start the new year right. And have a great week, guys. And let's kill it. Peace.